Tonight, fried chicken and collard greens, just one of the few things students could smell today. Find out why the Divine Nine were out in the quad.
Then, students are biking from Gonzales to Washington, D.C., but they aren't leaving the quad. Find out how tonight.
I'm Theo Hendrickson, and tonight we're talking about how one student club is kicking its way into OSU. One.
Good evening and welcome to your Wednesday night edition of the Beaver News. I'm Sara Boraston.
And I'm Olivia Gonzales. We're glad you could join us this evening.
The quad was alive with the smell of home-cooked soul foods this afternoon as fraternity and sorority members of the Divine Nine held their cookout cook-off. The day's cookout included foods such as collard greens and fried chicken, which shivering students were more than happy to partake in. This event was held as part of Greek Week, a week-long event aimed at bringing attention to OSU's Greek community. The Divine Nine consists of 9 black fraternities, including Alpha Phi Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, and Alpha Kappa Alpha.
We're just here to show our presence here on campus so that people know about the different organizations and also advertise for the different events that are coming up, like the STEP show this Saturday. And that we're just here to show people who we are. Not a lot of people know about the historically black lettered Greek fraternities and sororities that are across the nation.
We're all here showcasing our being proud and letting everybody know that we're here on campus and making sure everybody can come out to the STEP show and have a good time with us. You could be a football player, you could be a basketball player, you could be a scientist, you could be an engineer. It doesn't matter where you are. We're just all bringing the black community together.
And this week, the Divine Nine is pleased to bring back their 11th annual STEP show. This Saturday, May 25th, multiple Divine Nine sorority and fraternity organizations will be stepping at the LaSalle Stewart Center. As a part of this event, the Black Student Union will be hosting a barbecue which starts at 2 p.m. But the stepping will begin at 3:30 p.m. sharp. Shown here is some footage from previous STEP shows from 2011 and 2012. Tickets are $8 in advance at the MU and $10 at the door on Saturday. This barbecue cost is included in the ticket price.
This week is Oregon Parenting Education Week. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., Psychology Assistant Professor David Kerr will discuss Boys, Men, Fathers, a 30-year intergenerational study of how fatherhood impacts men and their families. This presentation is the final part of the 3-part seminar series hosted by the Hallie E. Ford Center for Healthy Children and Families in the College of Public Health and Human Sciences. The discussion in HFC Room 115 is free and open to the public.
Students are spinning up a storm today in the quad to raise money for Push America, as members of Pi Kappa Phi and Alpha Zeta fraternity held a fundraiser aimed at pushing students to the limit.
We spoke with Pedals to Push booth representatives to see how this long trek is going so far.
You ride a mile, you help raise money, you help raise awareness for people with disabilities. If anybody rides 50 miles, they're going to get a free membership from Better World Club. Better World Club is the only national organization that offers roadside assistance for bicyclists all around the country. The membership that they're giving out is valued at $40, and they're giving out a ton of them to anybody who can do that goal. We also have companies like Snap Fitness on board. They're helping us out, and they're giving out free memberships to the top male and female riders for the entire event for the 48 hours, and we'd love to have as many people as we can come out. We've got hundreds of people saying they're RSVPing. Right so far, we had about, I want to say 30 to 40 people come and ride, and we'll be out here for a long time. It's going to be a good time.
And when our reporter went to get this story at around 1:30 this afternoon, the group had already logged over 200 miles from over 40 different participants. At that rate, they should make it to D.C. very soon. Well, those stationary bikes aren't going to get stolen at any time soon, but yours just might. Within the last few days, Oregon State Police have seen an increase in high-end bicycle thefts around the Oregon State University campus. In the past 2 months, over 14 bicycles have been reported stolen to Oregon State Police, where only 3 have been returned to their rightful owner. All of the bicycles stolen were secured with a cable lock and were stolen during the daytime. If you see a person on campus that looks suspicious of bicycle theft, you are advised to call Oregon State Police.
Is beer a new source of green energy? If you know beer, then you know Widmer Brothers Brewing from Portland. But what you may not know is that the brewing company is starting their own green revolution. Widmer Brothers has called upon the help of OSU to test a new pilot project that will clean wastewater, recycle it, and use that water to brew more beer, all while using a fuel cell that simultaneously generates electricity during the process. The brothers wanted to test this theory with Corvallis' startup Waste2Watergy. The fuel cells were developed by Professor Hong Liu and researcher Yan-Zhen Fan in OSU's Department of Biological and Ecological Engineering. The research and testing has been extensive over the years, but the Widmer pilot fuel cell will be the first one they've ever tested in the field. If it succeeds, it could save the brewery upwards of $400,000 a year.
If you're thinking about leaving town for the long weekend, think again. For those of you who are 21, Heart of Willamette will host an open wine tasting tours of Benton County wineries all weekend long. Participating wineries include Benton Lane Winery, Cardwell Hill Cellars, Mark Ridge Winery, and many more. Tours will be accompanied by live music and delicious foods. For those of you who aren't particularly fond of wine, there will also be a cheese taste, Saturday at Two Towns in Oregon State's cheese program. There you will be able to try OSU's own cheese, Beaver Classic, and purchase other cheeses as well. A Memorial Day service will be held on Monday at the Crystal Lake Cemetery at 10 a.m.
Summer is fast approaching, and for some that means carefree days relaxing in the nice weather, but for others that means graduation. For new graduates, sometimes getting your foot in the door of the working world is difficult. That's why Oregon State is presenting their Corvallis Young Pros event. This monthly networking event will be a great opportunity for new grads to meet with local professionals and find out about local job opportunities. This event will be held Tuesday, May 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the CH2M Hill Alumni Center.
Dancing with the Stars is coming to your very own Oregon State campus. Yes, that's right. OSU students will be paired with local ballroom dance professionals to compete for the coveted Mirror Ball Trophy. This event will be hosted in the LaSalle Stewart Center on Thursday, May 30th from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Tickets are being sold in the MU Quad all this week and next. Tickets are $5 for students and $8 for the general public. General admissions tickets will also be sold at the door. Visit the Facebook page Dancing with the OSU Stars for a list of stars and ticket information.
Growing up, you were probably told not to play with sharp objects. But now that you're in college, those rules have changed. Here at OSU, kendo has taken off as an intense disciplinary skill. Kendo is a Japanese martial art practicing swordsmanship and is heavily focused on discipline. Kendo literally translates to the way of the sword. Originally, it was an art practiced by the samurai and then later imposed into the Japanese military. After World War II, it was introduced as a sport and remains a mark of the strong cultural heritage of Japan. Now it is practiced at OSU in the form of the Kendo Club, founded in 2000 by former OSU student Kevin Harris. And in 2004, it was accepted to the Pacific Northwest Kendo Federation, where it can now have matches with other teams such as U of O and University of Washington.
Well, it may not be kendo, but one martial arts group at OSU is rolling with the punches and kicking up a storm. It's the OSU Wushu Club. This student club is demonstrating traditional Chinese culture, all while kicking up with a few notches. Beaver News reporter Theo Hendrickson has a story.
Please welcome to the stage the Wushu Gang.
A martial arts team made a big splash at this year's OSU Has Talent show in March. After the success from the show, the team decided to start a student club at OSU to train students in the art of Wushu.
Wushu is a more modern version of the traditional Chinese Kung Fu with backgrounds in China, of course. And it traces all the way back to the Shaolin Temple when the monks used to practice self-defense. We teach one-on-one. We move with you. We show you each individual move in full detail. If we see something's wrong, we'll show you like right off the bat.
With a core group of 4 to 5 students, they all work hard in the art and also have fun while doing it.
I like doing all the kicks. Like we do jump kicks in this class and we do butterfly kicks. We're learning minor hong boxing right now. That's a cool style and a form, and I just like to be able to defend myself if I ever come into contact with someone else. I would continue with Wushu after this. I like to practice it at home and just make sure and practice my forms, make them better.
While the club is still in its infancy stages, Chow has big aspirations for the organization.
I want the club to expand to University of Oregon's Wushu club. Like they inspired me to practice a little harder, like recruit members a little more.
With a bright future ahead, the Wushu club is heading in the right direction. This has been Theo Hendrickson with the Beaver News.
And joining us on the set tonight, the Beaver News is pleased to have Wushu Club President Raymond Chow here to tell us exactly what the Wushu Club is all about. Raymond, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me.
So what is the Wushu Club and why does it exist?
So Wushu Club is the newest martial arts club on campus and the first of its kind at OSU. But Wushu clubs have been around for at least 20 years across the nation. Along the West Coast, U of O, UW, UCLA, USC have had pretty well-established Wushu clubs, and I just wanted to bring that to OSU.
That's great.
So what is the definition of Wushu and how is it different than other martial art forms?
So Wushu literally translates to martial art, and it's different than other martial arts forms in that it's focused on both kicks and punches, and involves many different weapon styles as well, and it's influenced Taekwondo and karate and other different martial arts to become about.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So what does your group do during club meetings?
So the club meetings run for 2 hours. The first hour includes warm-ups, basic kicks, punches, drills, and a lot of conditioning. And the second hour combines all the basic stuff that you learned into applications and different combinations, and then we throw in some acrobatic stunts and like gymnastics, which for performances and just complexity in our moves.
So how can students get involved, and do you need any experience to be a part of the Wushu Club?
Oh, not at all. The club is free to join. We encourage everyone to be part of the club. We have meetings twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesday we meet 8 to 10. The first hour is in the third floor racquetball court, and the second hour is in the multi-purpose room 1. And on Thursdays we meet from 10 to midnight, and also same locations. And we tailor training sessions to each individual's comfort level, so it's never too hard for people to learn.
That's good to know. Thanks. Well, thank you, Raymond, for being with us tonight. Well, that's all we have the time for you tonight. I'm Olivia Gonzales.
And I'm Sara Boraston. We're glad you could join us this evening.
For more of your Beaver News, be sure to watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter at Beaver News. Have a good night.